Alright, guten Morgen. Ja, ja. How you doing? Sorry for being tardy. Anybody here? Ja, das ist gut. Guten Morgen. Anybody here? I don't know. Maybe there's a 30-second delay. I'm not sure. Anybody responding? Hello? Well, I'll just pretend that you can hear me. I'm wearing my Georgia Bulldog red today. Georgia Bulldogs, national champion football team, beat Alabama. Give you an idea, the last time, no, University of Georgia has had a great football team for a very long time. Always one of the best. But Alabama's won 7 out of 13 years. And Georgia hasn't won since 1980. So anyways, Georgia beat Alabama. So congratulations to the University of Georgia Bulldogs. All right, cool. So, hey, welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 19,000 foreign exchange traders. Today we'll conduct technical and fundamental analysis of euro, US dollar, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and a kroner. Maybe ZAR, maybe peso, whatever. It's a rand, I ran so far away. Johnny says it was such a crazy, exciting game. Well, I'm such an old man now. I sit down and I got some booze and I got some snacks. I'm like, I'm going to watch the game. And they're like, dude, it's not on TV. You have to have like ESPN or something. I'm like, what the frick? You used to be able to just sit down, turn it on to, I don't know, Channel 5 and there'd be a football game. But anyway, so I didn't watch any of it. But apparently it ended really well, right? So, cool. We're ready. Exciting game. Great. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Let me remind you that trading is risky. It's not appropriate for everyone. Oh, no, no. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never, ever, ever risk money you cannot afford to lose, sir. Hey, my name is Wayne. I am a currency trader. Hey, this is a little off. I've noticed in some of the recordings. Is it this way? And then maybe expand this a little bit. It's a little better, I suppose, huh? Maybe move that down a little bit. Cool. A little better. Got to clean it up, right? Got to be pretty. So how you doing, mate? So, we went through normal volatility based on seasonality, mostly trend-based, most on seasonal trend-based. That's how we started October. Then November, we got our normal pullback, and then Omicron hit. Pullback turned into reversal. Then we kind of moved sideways into December. Nothing really happened that great. There was some up and down range trading. And then the week right before Christmas holidays, the Santa Claus rally, if you want to call that, the normal rally that usually happens at the end of December, just showed up out of nowhere. And if you bought a lower low, it made a higher high by the end of the year and then has then stopped. And now we're going through, again, some normal seasonality, which would mean the stock market should come down a bit, which it has been recently. Dollar would gain strength, even though technically and fundamentally it shouldn't. But it does, and that has to do with rebalancing and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of happened. But we got craziness going on top of all of that normal seasonality. risk off Omicron, risk back on seasonality, then risk off, I know I don't actually call it risk off, but let's say dollar strength because of seasonality. But then what? Well, now we got Jerome Powell is testifying, well, not testifying, but was doing his job interview today. And, well, you know he's going to get the job, but the issue is he's going to talk a lot about the Fed's policy moving forward, and he has to be political about it. So he's going to say things that people want to say or want to be said, even if he's not actually going to do it, right? But here's the issue now. We went from 2 rate hikes and a slow taper to now 3 rate hikes is being priced in with a fast taper. But now even 4 rate hikes are being priced in by some like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and others. Wow. Nobody agrees on anything right now. And everybody's going to watch this testimony today. And it's, I don't know, it's crazy. So be careful. Be careful. You're going to be caught in the maelstrom of technical, fundamental, and psychological reactions to this big debate of what will the Fed do, when will the Fed do it, how much will they do, and what does it actually mean? On top of this, we have our normal weird sort of seasonality put in here. So nonetheless, we are in very interesting times. You have been blessed with that, but you may see that the market comes and goes and fits and starts. The blessing is bulls have been buying at exactly where a bull would buy or should buy. Bears have been selling at exactly where bears would sell, and then there's massive noise in between. Massive noise in between. So, I don't know. Okay, you got to be careful. You got to plan your trades, and you got to do what you got to do, and then you got to do right. You got to do that right, and then you got to be patient and disciplined. Holy smokes, has that been tested? So, anyways, if you have questions about all or any of this, ask questions, and I will do my best to address them. I invite you to visit Tradersway.com, a boutique foreign exchange trading firm that would like to earn your loyalty and respect and be your execution partner to your successful Forex trading business. Now, they actually want that last part. That's the whole reason that I'm here today, really, if you think about it. I'm here to teach you technical and fundamental analysis, trader psychology, and positive trading habits that will lead to your success. And then Trader's Way comes along and they're like, dude, we like successful traders. I'm like, yeah? Why is that? And they're like, well, a successful trader will trade with us for years and 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 years. That means we can provide a service. And for that, we'll provide a good service and we'll charge reasonable competitive fees. I'm like, cool, that sounds great. Okay. Now, how did they earn my loyalty and respect? Not through a banner ad? Through cheap spreads? No. The Swiss National Bank lied to the whole world. Several big brokers around the world went out of business that day because of the Swiss National Bank lying to everybody. And what really happened, it seems, is that those brokers got caught trading against their own clients and paid the penalty by going out of business. Tradersway, on the other hand, was not affected at all. And I pinged them. I'm like, how you guys doing? Some big brokers just went out of business. How you guys doing? They're like, we're totally fine. We executed the trade. So they're out there. Now, the clients might have been negatively impacted, but as a broker, well, it doesn't impact us because we took the trades and executed it into the interbanking system like the client asked us to. We weren't trading against our clients. Oh, okay. Well, it's unfortunate the Swiss National Bank lied to us, but thank God that you guys are in good shape. And they're like, yeah. I said, you should probably send out a press release because people are freaking out because their brokers are going out of business and you guys are fine. You should probably send a press release. And they're like, yeah, good idea. And they did. Sounds good to me, huh? Tradersway.com. The proof is in the pudding. All right. All right. All right. Let's go through the markets. I guess we will start where? I don't know. Aussie dollar? Okay. If you was a bull on Oz and a bear on dollar, how would you trade this pair? Wait. If you were a bull on Aussie and a bear on dollar, you'd buy Aussie dollar. I'm not sure if I'm understanding your question right. Man, I keep hearing noises, but so if I keep looking this way, I apologize. I forgot to run my dishwasher yesterday, and all my coffee cups were dirty, so I decided to run the dishwasher. Now I keep hearing it. I'm like, what? What's up, Gregers? Okay, so anyways, let me get my drawing tool. Okay, cool. So what do we know from a bearish point of view? What's up, Darko? From a bearish point of view, okay. This is sort of like the patience to wait things out. I did move my stop closer now that we tested that line. So that's what a bear would do, right? A bear would sell here, and I believe I did. And then there's that, which I did not. And then and now we're in this situation. Okay. Now, a bull's on the counterpoint of this. Bulls would start buying around here. Okay. A bull would buy here. And a bull would buy here. This is a monthly up. This is a weekly up. This is a counter trend up. And yet bears are selling here and here, which is a monthly sell. Selling here, which is a weekly sell. And everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. If you're in the middle there, you're very dissatisfied. Yeah, it's my daughter. I have to respond. I don't know why she's texting me from school. Okay. All right. Oh. So you see what I mean? To me, what it feels like, because I still don't see a real trend, because if I go a little left, it was up, and now it's down. I feel like we're all just setting up the chess pieces. Okay? I feel like we're setting up the battlefield more than anything. Okay? So that's that. Because I feel like half of this chart says down and the other half says up, and we're kind of right in the middle, you know. But I'm set as a bear, just so you know. Okay. Two things going on here. One, Australia is not going to raise interest rates anytime soon, and the dollar is going to raise interest rates. Okay. And then two, seasonality, besides that, tells me that the dollar will strengthen. Now, the funny thing about this is I'm a US dollar bear, just not in January. I know, that's sophisticated, isn't it? Yeah, well. Okay, cool. So that's that. That's kind of interesting. Okay, there's the pig back down. Now, this is interesting because I said that when dollar is weak, I probably want to buy the pound dollar. But when the US dollar is strong, I don't want to sell this. So these red candles don't tell me sell, they tell me buy. I'm not necessarily a buyer, but that's what they mean. So this should be on bullish mode. Okay. So if you were a bull and you're like, man, today pound dollar's going to go up, I'd get ready. And maybe this plan that I have outlined this is what I did on Sunday, by the way. And Sunday we were here and I said, let it fall to here and buy it. And this is our target. So we don't know if that's right. Okay. Okay, we don't know if that's right, but that could be your game plan. So if that's your game plan and you got the higher high, you're going to probably set up a Fibonacci sequence here and do something like this today. Okay? If you're a bull. Now, if you go out to the 4-hour, nothing here says bear anyways. So, giant red candle in this situation might lead you to buying. Okay? Kind of like yesterday's drop in the NASDAQ. That's when you buy. Okay? So anyways, that might be a buying opportunity, or you'll look at it as a top, but it's too early for a bear. Okay? It'd be ridiculous for a bear to sell that. I wouldn't even think of it. Okay. Going over here, still yet nothing, right? Still nothing. Okay, still nothing. And so, well, I guess the something is even more nothing. We went from a big range to a tighter range. So we went from no trend to even less trend. Less than no. Okay. So it doesn't look that great. Okay. So that's that. You should probably be somewhat neutral. Aussie dollar we already did. Kiwi dollar shouldn't be much different. Zoom in here. On Sunday in my day trading group, I had declared sell it around 68. It's only got to 67.80. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. This is how close we are. Yes, it will be. You're a customer. Yes, it will be. Problem is I can't tell you which way. In fact, I would guess both ways. And that's the problem. That's why we don't have a trend. Okay? So here you're like, Wayne, there's definitely a range. Well, ranges aren't trends. And then you're like, Wayne, look at that. That's definitely a downtrend. But not when you compare it to that. And then if you go out even further, so is it up or is it down? Okay? So the reason we're lacking a trend is we don't agree. It's too complicated. Too many people think too many different things. And thus, we lack a trend. Now, what I said is on this day, US dollar will get strong. Okay? And I went through all the charts and I explained there's nothing on the chart and there's no fundamental reason for it. However, despite no technical and fundamental reason, the dollar is going to get strong. Can anybody confirm that? Can anybody confirm? I went through all the charts and I explained the dollar will get strong. Oh, it will get strong. but there's no technical or fundamental reason for it. And that's important because it sets up the basis for strategy. Now you say, well, isn't seasonality fundamental? No, it's mechanical. It's the mechanics of the market. Fundamental means I'm going to sell the US dollar. Oh yeah, but I'm buying it right now. Okay? So I just want to make the distinction. Seasonality is not fundamental, it's mechanical. It has to do with how market participants manage their book, or manage their trading business, or manage regulatory compliance issues, or manage taxation issues, or manage their customer base and their AUM. It has to do with things like year-end newsletters. It has to do with raising new funds or maintaining client stability, right? So all these things are the mechanics of running a business as a professional investor. It has nothing to do with fundamentals, which are things like wage growth, productivity growth, central banking policy. That's fundamental. Irregardless of all that, I told you, dollar's going to get strong. Don't look for reasons why, because they don't exist. They just is. Okay? That's cool. Especially for such a handsome man. You're like, I just assume he was dumb as nails because he's so beautiful. It's a contradiction. Yeah, I'm an enigma. That'd be a great t-shirt, right? I'm an enigma. All right, cool. So, yeah. Swissy's still weak, man. Swissy's still weak. Yen was weak, then yen was strong, then yen was weak, then yen was strong, then yen was weak. Flattening a little bit. Maybe we can click out on some of these things. Oops, wrong one. Click out. Okay. And I ran so far away. Yeah, look at that. Just crazy. Like, that's zoomed out all the way. Nothing on dollar, huh? Well, if anything, Norris, I think it proves that I cannot move the market because if you're a fundamental macro trend trader, you underperform when there's no trend. Okay, I think I'm going to have a kick-ass second quarter. Okay, and then I'm going to party hard on some beautiful beach as the seasonal trend will change. Darko, that's funny, yeah. Cool. Was that right, Greg? That's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that feedback. You know, it's interesting though, Greg, because I know you've been trading a long time as well. And for the last 10 years, I've been telling people about the carry trade, but very few carry trades actually existed. The world in 2008 went to zero interest rate policy, so there just wasn't a swap, there wasn't a carry. And I'd have to tell stories about, John Taylor at FX Concepts making $250 million a year personally. Not his fund, not for his clients. His personal pay was $250 million a year for like 20 20 or 30 years in a row. That's some FU money, right? And by the way, that's his taxable income. But anyways, he made that money being the first hedge fund focused on Forex. That's why he's interesting. He's the first dude that said, we should start a hedge fund and focus on Forex. And this is I'm teaching this in a time when there's no interest rate differential, so there's no swap, no carry, but I'm like, dude, one day you'll see. So I'd share the knowledge and I'd say, so John Taylor, his firm made billions of dollars of profit for his clients. And because of that, he paid all his employees and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of every year, he would pocket $250 million for himself. Now, here's the interesting part, if you didn't find that part interesting. They didn't make any pips. No, it's not Chuck Taylor, the shoe guy, the other guy. This is a different Chuck Taylor. But anyways, wowzer, huh? They never made any pips. They hedged everything out. So how did they make billions of dollars a year profit for their clients? Swap. Now, holy schnickerschnacker, right? Then the next story I would tell is there's a video somewhere of me in New York, and I remember it because I bought a suit and it was advertised to me as a travel suit that wouldn't wrinkle. And I'm like, hey man, I got to jump on a plane, fly to New York, go straight into the conference, do my speech, leave the conference, get back on a plane and leave. I don't want to like drag suitcase and all that kind of crap for that. I don't want to have to change my suit. So I bought this travel suit and I get there and I look terrible. I look terrible. Just look terrible. But I remember doing the speech and I was explaining how I was making 800% a year. Okay. On the New Zealand dollar swap. New Zealand. Right? Okay. New Zealand. Now, you might be able to get that right now with South Africa, but you're assuming certain risks with South Africa, right? An emerging market and all that kind of stuff. But New Zealand, there's nothing risky about New Zealand. Think about how conservative they are. One person got COVID. They shut the whole country down. Like, dude, you can't get more conservative and reliable, right? So to earn 800% a year, you're like, holy schnickersnacker. So anyways, well, those days are long gone, but it's been a story that I would tell, right, Greg? So moving forward now, interest rates are going up, yields are going up. Interesting. So we might just get back to that world where we were, you know, when I started like year 2001 or 2 or whatever. And you would look at these interest rate differentials, and some of them were quite a bit. So like, for example, we could have, let's say, 5% in interest rates in the UK and 0 interest rates in Europe. Now, not this year, but what about in 3 years? So if you sold the euro, well, actually, before you sell the euro, you borrow the euro. I don't think they'll have negative interest rates 3 years from now. So let's say you borrow the euro for free. Okay. And then you take those euros and you lend them to the Bank of England and they pay you 5%. But you're leveraged 100 to 1, so now you're making 500% just on the swap per year. Paid every single day, 7 days a week. You get paid for holidays, you get paid for weekends. And that's income. That what we were talking about yesterday. That's your income. Meanwhile, the pound is going to appreciate in a situation like that. So you have capital appreciation in your investment, plus you earn income every day of 500% a year divided by 365. Basically. There's some other fees involved, and liquidity partner fees and spreads and all that gets in that, but generally speaking, you should understand that concept. How interesting would that be as a currency trader? The problem is the other gurus on YouTube, and again, I actually don't watch these guys, so I don't know what they talk about, but I doubt they talk about these things because they don't know, or they read it in a book. But I was there and I did it, right? I was doing speeches in New York City in front of a live audience. Okay? Teaching people about the carry trade. So cool. I welcome it back, and it may be a big part of our business one day. Okay? Okay? It'll be interesting. And I might start a high yield fund. What do? Collect swaps and hedge out pips. That would be interesting, right? And inside of that, maybe there's some crypto version of that through staking, huh? All right. So let's just say the future is bright. Let's say the current days that we're in and weeks that we're in are not boring. So I just hope we can catch a trend. Okay? All right, so let's go through. Let's start with commodities. Okay, so at $40,000 yesterday, I bought $10,000 of Bitcoin, which is 0.25. It's so funny. I bought one half of Bitcoin. Yeah, what a baller, man. What a baller. So anyways, yeah, I'm watching it. I might have to get out. I'd like one more, update and then just set it and forget it kind of thing. So it's right, and it's a cash position, so I would just leave it in Bitcoin and walk away and see. I don't know what happens. So right now, what do we know besides my hopefulness of this? We know we have support here. We know bulls have to play the higher high today or it's dead. The 55 on the hour says it's going to bounce at support and go up. So what I need today is for 41,000 to hold as support, and we go to 43,000. The next real challenge is still in front of us because there's some significant bears right here at this price. Okay. So, yeah, let it drift down to 41-ish, 41.5. It doesn't matter. And then up to 43.5 maybe. And then, I don't know. Maybe I take my profit. Okay. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think is next? Let me do a poll. This will be fun. What BTC price will we hit first? Let's say 43. Let's do it this way. 43,000 or let's do 40,000. Okay, I'm going to ask you. Pachow. Here comes the poll. Let me play a little music for you. Back! Cause you're looking for the same thing. It's a new thing. Check out this supreme. I'm living low next to the bass. Turn up the radio. You're claiming I'm a criminal. But now I wonder how some people ever know your enemy could be your friend or guardian. I'm not a hooligan. I rock the party and clear all the madness. I'm not a racist to preach to teach. Cause some of you never had this. Yeah, okay, that's good. How many? We got 30 votes. That's probably enough. That's statistically relevant. All right, 41 votes. Thank you very much. That is a statistically relevant data set. 73% of people think it's going down and not heading up. So I'm going to get stopped out is what you're saying. And I'll be at break even, basically. All right. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I get my 10K back. Okay. Crudy. Okay. Crude. Still up, man. Let's take a look. Click in. This is the 4H. Check this out. Okay, check this out. What are you talking about? Look at our trade plan from last week. Oh, but Wayne, it went 10 cents below your projected entry. Yeah, but it didn't go even more than 5 cents above my projected top. Holy. And check this out. Now that looks interesting. If that is true, then what is the target? Okay, $84.15. I've labeled it bullish profit zone. Okay, back. Because you're looking for the same thing. It's a new thing. Man, I miss Public Enemy, huh? And gold, look at everybody still wants to know what's going on with gold. Well, it's doing nothing and it's doing it quickly. Or maybe you describe it. It's very slowly doing nothing. That sounds even better. This has a little more down than up, even though the trend is sloping up. Okay, what's up, Danny? Okay. I'm just looking at, is it playing that or is it just you're seeing it? Okay. It's a mirage. Okay. Darko says maybe up to 60K. Well, look, if it doesn't bounce at 41, I'm out. So it don't matter none. You want to do Natty? Oh, sure. We can do Nat. Okay. It's pointing to either an, well, let's just do basics. I'm just going to do the basics. Okay, let's keep it simple. Okay, keep it simple. This is Nat Gas, everybody. Bottom, 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 bottom. Can we call that a floor? Let's call it a 350 floor. Okay, it held. Okay. We got a break. The target now. You ready for this? 4.5. Okay. Jody says, I think Bitcoin will move today with New York. Yeah. I agree. I just want to know up or down. I think probably New York will open hot and then grow cold. On says, hey, you don't invest long-term, Wayne? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, it's just another trade, I guess, is what I'm saying. Right on, Golden Bones. Okay. I think probably the next big investment will be whatever replaces Ethereum. But anyways, if you want to look at Ethereum, you had your chance to buy it at 3K. Okay, we started this drop at 5. Okay. Lower high, lower low. Okay. Lower high, lower low. And this is a psych level and the projected bottom. That's the other thing. This is the projected bottom. Golden says that's ADA. I bought it and haven't enjoyed buying it. And Solana, I guess I gotta tiptoe into that because it was funny. I made a decision ADA, right? Right? Do I buy Cardano or Solana? And I said, I'm going with Cardano because he's an Ethereum guy. And it was a guess. And Solana's done better, I think. So, but now that everything's down 40, 50%, maybe I throw down some Solana. But it all seems like it's a really good idea. But I think even at $1 or something, other people are in at, 3 cents. And I feel stupid buying at $1, right? But is it going to be worth $1,000 someday? I don't know. So, hey, what's up, Brian? Golden got in early. Yeah, buy both. Yeah. Yeah, so like if I'm looking for value right now, because we are talking about a rotation out, right? A rotation, right? In the stocks, a lot of people are going from growth to value. I'm kind of doing something different. So the idea is I want to buy something for a long term and I want to buy it cheap relative to what it was. And maybe the old price is some sort of sign of future value. No, I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to do the yen pairs. So that's my thought process. If I can buy something and hold it for, let's say, at least 10 years, and it was priced high, but now I can get it cheap, maybe I can at least get it back to the previous high, but over 10 or even 20 years, maybe we surpass the old high and make a new higher high. But for that, you not only have to buy cheap, you have to buy a good company, and that's why it's value. I'm not interested in buying cheap, I'm trying to buy value. Okay? So in my thought process, I've done things like I bought airlines. Okay? And I've put some money into those, knowing that I'm not, it's going to fart around the bottom, the low price that I buy it at, it's going to fart around like that for a year or 2 or 3, but maybe 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, buying it at $4. Like I bought, what did I buy? I bought KLM. Huh? There you go, Peter. Huh? I bought some KLM. I think I paid like $4.50. Okay? That kind of stuff, right? What else could I buy? I bought Chinese ADRs. Okay, which gets me like Bubba, for example. So what I did here is I bought a fund that owns 25 ADRs, Chinese ADRs, of which the top 10 are all the ones you've heard of. JD, Alibaba, Tencent, that kind of stuff, right? So I'm like, I'll just buy that. But the interesting thing is I bought Alibaba, for example, in this fund. And of course, all the funds, all these big names in the funds were already down 50%. So I'm like, okay, here's a company that makes $1 trillion a day. Right? Well, yeah, so Peter, it's KLM, Air France, but what I look at it is sort of like Diet Delta. So when Delta comes back online and travel is full bore again, Delta's going to send a lot of business back to KLM and Air France. And I'm buying it at, 1/10 the price, at least, per share. Maybe not the same value, but I'm buying it at 1/10 the stock price of Delta. Okay. So anyways, so I'm doing stuff like that. So I'm buying this like a $4 stock here. I'm buying a whole bunch of Chinese ADRs, negative 50%. And maybe I buy Solana, for example, at 50% of what it was 3 months ago. Right? And you're like, yeah, okay, thinking that hopefully it doesn't go to zero, and crypto's more likely to go to zero than, Alibaba. But you take these risks. And so that's kind of what I'm farting around. I've already bought European bank stocks. I already explained why, when that interest rates were definitely going to go up. The yield curve's definitely going to steepen. And banks are definitely going to make a lot more money. And therefore, the value of their stock is definitely going up. And I already explained that 6 to even 9 months ago, I made those plays. See how easy money is? You just can't trade today. I learned that in venture capital. Venture capital taught me to think 10 years in advance. Sometimes farther out than that. Usually 10 years is when you gotta exit, man. Okay, you gotta exit by then. But it's a longer term point of view. You're not thinking months or quarters. So how can you be a year ahead, for example? You want to buy what's going to work in 2023. You want to buy it now, not what's happening now. Now is too late. Smart money's already made the move. Cool. Anyways, nice talk. Good talk. Great. Let's do some yens. Okay. Do some yens. So I'm a bull on the kitty cat. And I got 2 profitable trades. Yay! Okay. Cool. Well, Darko, I don't really have a stock broker that way. I have a wealth management fund. And that's at Morgan Stanley. And Morgan Stanley bought E-Trade. So I just use my E-Trade account. So they're like, hey, you could trade this money over here with this E-Trade account and we'll handle everything internally. And I'm like, okay. Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, I think, is popular. But I'm not really a stock guy. Okay, I don't trade stocks. Again, I bought Apple for $6 in the 90s and held it for 30 years. And let me tell you, that does make a person more attractive and beautiful. What'd you do your whole life? Well, I bought an apple for $6, and that's pretty much all I've done my entire life. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, back then, by the way, I went to Apple University. Has anyone here gone to Apple University? Huh? And you're like, wait, there's an Apple University? Yeah. Well, there was in 1990. I think I worked at Apple 1995. Actually, it would have been spring 1996, I think, is about right. Okay? Wait, no, it might have been 95. I remember at the time, Windows just came out with Windows 95. That's right. Windows 95. And Apple employees knew that it was just a total ripoff of the Apple operating system. So people had, right? This is what people had on their they had bumper stickers on their Volkswagen Carmen Gios. that's what an Apple employee drove. But it said, it said this. This is what everyone's bumper sticker said. It was everywhere. Windows 95. Was it Macintosh or Apple? I'll say Apple. Apple 84. That was the bumper sticker. It was cool. Okay. So anyways, I went to Apple University, became an Apple technical coordinator. Very cool. And it was the type of place where you could bump into the CEO. So I've met the CEO of Apple, right? When I worked at Cisco Systems, John Chambers came to my cube one day, and we had a little talk in my cube, the CEO of Cisco Systems. Pretty amazing, right? The Silicon Valley. You're like, what? Yeah, Jim, it's true too, huh? The spread is a bit high on right? Yeah. But anyways, Apple, right? So back then, when Windows 95 came out, I must have bought some Apple shares. But, actually, it was before that. Let me think about that. It was before that. It was when the Pepsi guy took over Apple. Steve Jobs got fired. And the Pepsi guy, I can't remember his name now. Anyways, that's when I bought it for $6. So it was even before 95. I bought it in the early, maybe 94, 93. So, yeah, I tend to hold stocks for a long time. I'm not a stock trader. A venture capitalist wants to pay 3 cents for a stock, not 150. I can, but there's already a video I did on that in, I think, one of the training courses at FX Bootcamp. So I used to do one about chaos theory. And what was the other one? What was the other one? Chaos theory and... Oh, it was Scully. Thank you. I think when Jobs got fired and Scully went in there. Yeah. And then Scully left, and then the next guy came in, to tear it down. They hired some guy, and they were literally going to put Apple out of business, and he couldn't do it, which is pretty funny. Chaos Theory. What was the other one? Chaos Theory. Because I talked about the butterfly effect, if you recall. I can't remember. And the other one was... Anyways, it's already in the training course, so I don't want to go through it. Okay, log into FX Bootcamp, Stevie. And it's probably... I don't know which one it's in. I'd have to think about it. All right. So that's going up. That's good. Kiwi not going up because CAD is a strong one and Kiwi is not. So I've told people if the yen is weak, I want to buy pound yen and CAD yen. Yeah, it's there. I just can't remember. It's an older video. I used to do that one, I guess, when my book came out. Which is really an interesting history. I remember I'm on stage in Las Vegas at the Traders Expo. And I'm preaching material that's in my book. Okay? So I've took material out of the book and made a presentation out of it. The book was available to purchase on Amazon.com that day, but it hadn't been released yet. So you could only pre-order it, but you wouldn't get it anytime soon. And there I am on stage. And you got to remember, if you spent a year doing something like writing a book, you have some sort of, I don't know if it's pride, but you definitely have, some of your soul put into this thing, and you want it to do well. Well, that day I remember being on stage. I'm doing Chaos Theory and whatever the other topic was. And the book that day was the best-selling Forex book on Amazon. And you couldn't even get it yet. And it was sort of like a point of pride, like people cared. And anyways, so I appreciated that moment. There's something great about standing on stage saying, I wrote a book, you can't have it, but it is the #1 bestseller right now. And that's kind of cool. So people did care. Theta says, Wayne, Japanese yen, do you believe it could be strong this month? No, I've never said that. No, I said yen would be weak. Okay. I said the US dollar and the Japanese yen would decouple. So I'll say it again. Okay. I'm buying dollar when I get the opportunity, and I'm selling yen when I get the opportunity. Now, you might want to go back and watch yesterday's video because I explain if I'm selling yen, what do I want to buy? And if I'm buying dollar, what do I want to sell? I've already answered that as well, and I did that yesterday. Milo says it must be an amazing feeling. Well, I wouldn't say amazing, but it's just nice that it's some sort of positive feedback that it was worth the effort. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've ever written a book or not, but I'll tell you what. I wrote that book. It took a year, and I got carpal tunnel syndrome from doing it to the point where I just couldn't type for years. And I don't know. I guess I did all right at Harvard because I wrote a lot of papers. But there was a time back when I wrote the book 15 years ago where I couldn't even really type anymore because I wrote the book. And I still remember this one dream that I had that I was on top of a building and a helicopter was carrying a commercial air conditioning unit. You know, the size of a car, if not bigger. And in this dream, it had fallen and trapped both my arms underneath it. Now, what kind of pain does someone have to be in when you're dreaming of excruciating, torturous pain on your arms? Yeah. So, again, to know that somebody cared that you did that kind of effort was at least not disappointing. Was it amazing? It was good to know that it was worth it. Now think of that. I still remember it clear as day. I was so much pain that it felt like someone had cut my arms off, crushed my arms under a weight. Wow, what a dream. Okay. Let's take a look at Aussie. This is a not up situation. So if we have this, so I think, like, for example, the stock market's going to open up and then I think it's going to come down. But that's a guess. It's not even a thing. Okay? It's not even a guess. It's a guess. Total random guess. But the thing is, in a scenario like that, we may get a downward move in which I would sell this, but I wouldn't sell the pound dollar. Thank you, El Moro. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's that. But if it goes up, I wouldn't be a buyer of this. Oh. If you want to know why, watch yesterday's video. I wouldn't be a buyer of this one either. But what if it goes up? Well, what does that have to do with anything? Who cares if it goes up? Okay? I don't want to own it. That's what matters. So it's already gone up a little bit. And so we'll see what happens here. Okay? It could be you got this as a potential and you got this as a potential. If you're a bear. And if you're a bull, who cares? Now, if you're a bull, you want that. So just make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, now beast, I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to think differently with beast. Okay? It's the smart child. So, beast is a buy. Beast is a buy. And is scheduled to do something like that. So, if yen weakens today because there's a huge stock market rally, 4% up in the NASDAQ. Oh, well, then you're buying this. So you have to watch for clues in the rest of the market. This is why you can't just stare at your currency pair and say, I wonder if it's going to go up. Okay? You got to see what else is going on. What are yields doing? What are stocks doing? What are commodities doing? Okay? What did Powell say? Okay? And that can lead to risk on, risk off. And that's what you need to be playing. Don't just stare at your technicals. Technicals I love, but you got to be careful. There's more to it than that. Okay? Now, I'm actually more bullish on this than what this chart would say. I would look at this chart and say, that looks like a dog with fleas. And strangely enough, this one I'm bullish on, so at the very least I have to say, this might take me out of, and I'm really neutral, waiting for it to find bottom and roll over, in which maybe at the same price, 2 weeks from now, I'm a bull again. Okay? Now, what does this say? This says that we're going down to 77 and some change. It's actually 77.35 for this, or 77.44 for that. It don't matter none, somewhere around there. Okay, and that is not bullish, and I'm a bull, so I walk. But something like this on Monday might work out just fine. Because remember, I told you 1 year ago that the stock market, well, let's just say the yen pairs will go up next week. Are we going to watch it as a team? Nah. Nah, probably not. Okay. And I think that's just it. This is just where we are now. Okay, so I bought the drop and I'm making money on both trades. Good. Good. Okay. In fact, I think I can move these. Cool. So there we go, there we go, there we go. So we'll leave it at that. Well, Oliver says the same, he's got the same trades. You know, it's just like, really ultimately, there can only be so many trades that are valid versus just randomness, right? So they should almost always be reasonably similar. They should. Because there's only like relevant setups and then there's guesses, right? So not that mine are always right, but they shouldn't be radically different either. What do you mean update, Jim? Define update, and I'll let you know. Theta, it's seasonality. Well, I added Jean-Guy to your team yesterday. It should have sent him an email. Yeah. What's the deal in your swing trading group? There is no deal. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, maybe post in your group, just say hi. Let them know. Okay, cool. Yeah, Stingray, to join the swing trading group, you join FX Bootcamp, and then you upgrade your account to the swing trading group. It's right on the bottom of the page. Your dashboard when you log in. It's like, here's all the stuff. By the way, you can upgrade your account to the swing trading group. Super easy, super clean. The new website's just awesome. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, everybody. Would you please click the thumbs up on your way out? I'd appreciate it if you told YouTube this is quality content. Maybe say hi in the comments section below the video. Cool. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average.